This channel right here is the esophagus. Okay? So it's just been kind of smashed down. That's the esophagus. Stomach. So my cat has a little stomach. It doesn't have any, I don't think, any food in that stomach. So that's a little stomach. Cardiac region of the stomach. So remember, the cardiac region is the part of the stomach right where the esophagus enters. So it's that part of the stomach. So here's the esophagus coming in. So that means this region of the stomach here is the cardiac region. So right where that's coming in. This part right here would be the fundus. So we've got cardiac region, and then this is the fundus. Body of the stomach is just, this middle part. And then the last part of the stomach, here's the first part of the small intestine here. So the last part of the stomach here is the pyloric region. Okay. So we've got cardiac region, fundus, body, and pyloric region. Here is the greater curvature. Here is the lesser curvature. And notice in that lesser curvature, this is the lesser omentum. And then this is the greater omentum. Okay. Yeah. What else? So we got to look at the rugae. So you can just take a little slice in your stomach. Now typically the cat stomach doesn't show rugae very well. Remember, it's just that kind of those hills and valleys in the wall. But what you could do is just cut it open a little bit and stick your pin on the inside. Okay, so not much for rugae in that stomach. But I would just stick it on that inner wall for rugae. Do you have to know the pyloric sphincter on the cat? No. Okay, so we don't need to cut there. Okay, so now let's look at the small intestine. So remember, for duodenum, I'm going to look right after the stomach. So this is the first part of the small intestine right here. So I'd pin the duodenum right here. It's right after the pyloric region of the stomach. So that'd be duodenum. And then kind of all this in the middle, the jejunum. And then for the ileum, the first thing I want to do is find the colon, the large intestine. So to find that colon, I look for the part of the intestine that is going towards the anus. Okay, so that's going to be colon. And I'm just going to follow that up. Now, when I'm testing for the colon, I'm going to arrange it like this. So you can find the cecum, the ascending, the transverse, the descending colon, and the flexures. Okay. So that means this is the very beginning of that colon, the cecum. So right here then is the ileum coming in. Okay? So find the colon first, then backtrack and find the ileum. Now the ileocecal valve, I'm going to take a slice right at that junction where the two come together. So I'm going to slice part way into the wall of the ileum and then go part way into the wall of the cecum. Open it up. I didn't get in there, did I? Oh, actually it's right here. Okay, so that right there is the ileocecal valve. Okay? So this would be ileum, cecum, ileocecal valve. Then, okay, so let me arrange this. I'm pinning these all into place. But that would be the cecum. This would be the ascending colon. This would be the hepatic flexure, transverse colon, splenic flexure, because here's the spleen, okay. Descending colon, okay? Make sense? All right. Rectum is going to be the last part. So this will be all rectum right here. And then the anus is just going to be the opening to the outside right there. Okay. Hastra are just the bulges of the large intestine. And you don't see much for bulges here, but I would just stick it in the wall of the large intestine. Just remember that it's those bulges there for the large intestine. Remember, this is the spleen, and this is the liver. Move that down. There we got the liver. Gallbladder. So I'm looking, actually, if you look at this particular cat, the gallbladder is right in here. Sometimes I lift it up to look at the bottom, but this one is, the gallbladder is kind of collapsed in here. But that's right, that's the gallbladder right there. Okay. Pancreas. To find the pancreas, what I usually do is I get that greater omentum and I lift it up. And on the underside of that greater omentum, kind of right underneath the stomach, is the pancreas. And this kitty cat is a pretty minimal pancreas. It doesn't have a clear border like a lot of the other organs in the abdominal pelvic cavity. But this is the pancreas right here and right here. That's pancreas. My cat has a pretty small pancreas. Mesentery, that's this thin stuff between the intestine. So this is mesentery. Visceral peritoneum. For testing the visceral peritoneum, I would stick the pin right through a thin outer layer of the intestine, or the stomach, or the spleen, or the liver, or the large intestine. You know, it's thin membrane right on the surface of all those organs. Because viscera means organ, right? Visceral peritoneum. And then for parietal peritoneum, I would just go on the inside wall of that abdominal pelvic cavity, go through the membrane of that wall, parietal peritoneum. And then peritoneal cavity, and just drop the pin in there. Did I miss anything? All right, go ahead and pin your cats.